No voices. Hey, forget about it. Hey, I was mic'd all that time. I don't know. Hey, mute me. I was muted. I still can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I got music going on here. Hey. She's muted too. Can't hear her. You're muted too. Nobody could be heard. Can you hear me, Bobby? One, two, 1, 2. My mic is working. My speakers are working. Okay. The show is already started, and we can't hear each other. Audio, echo. Okay, comments. How you doing? Yeah. Jenny, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Can you hear me, everybody? Jenny, can you hear me? Yes, please. Can anybody hear me? I can't talk. I don't even know what to do. Okay. End stream. It's working fine. Be started. She's mute. Can't hear her. It works. All right. Here. Can Gavin, can you hear us? Device not connected.
Let's see.
Can you hear me, Bobby?
Yeah, I can hear you, Anthony. Let me close my door real quick.
Okay.
Um,
We gotta get
let me see
Maureen
what's
in.
going on with. She's not muted. She might have to check her routes, her audio route.
Okay. Maureen, maybe you have to pop in and out again to reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
goes. Okay.
Okay. Oh.
She's still heard.
Try, Marie, if you can hear me, try rebooting your device or computer or something. Maybe that will work.
Yeah, I know, Galvin. She was talking good before.
Yeah. So I guess while we're waiting for Marie to come back, what's up, Anthony?
What's up? Well, we got a
Nothing
guest
much.
in
I think
the.
you
We
was
got a
that?
guest waiting to come in. So
Yeah.
don't want to start the show without her, but give a couple minutes and hopefully it works. And then Galvin, I'll bring you in.
Yeah.
So I'm doing good, Bobby.
Yeah. We're just waiting on Marie to come
Okay.
back.
I'm gonna comments. Okay, Bobby.
Yeah, Gavin did said in the private chat that she did was able to hear Maureen. Oh, let's see. Nope,
No.
nope, nope.
Does your mic have an on-off button on it? Maybe you muted yourself on your mic.
No.
No.
Yeah, sometimes microphones does have a hardware on and off.
All right.
Maybe try that.
I'm gonna.
Better?
Yes, it.
There
Yes.
we go.
There
Okay.
you go.
Sorry,
Hey,
guys.
Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
So,
Gavin.
again, this is Dimensions of the Supernatural. I'm Maureen Grudzinski. I'm with my great co-host, Anthony Simonelli. We always have some weird stuff here. I got to switch around. It's weird. I
There
like
you
this
go.
on this side. Okay, so tonight we have an amazing guest. He is Gavin Kelly. He has been an author, a musician. He owns a radio station. He is doing everything. He's in the paranormal world. He has his own show. We're going to bring him in now because he's probably antsy. There he is.
A little technical difficulty there, you know.
Oh yeah, always something.
Well, we had really weird things happen, and it can't be explained. We've had lights go out, we've had sound go out, we have weird things happen with our videos. So I apologize for that. Hi, Uncle Giuseppe.
No problem.
Hi. So I wanted to give a little bit of rundown, but there's so much to talk about. It's really difficult to get to everything, as we all know, and you are involved in everything creative. So where do you want to start?
I don't know. Where do you want me to start?
How'd you get started with all this? You know, how you get into the paranormal or into writing about stuff and author. How'd you get started? What gave you the interest to start with the paranormal?
Well, it started way back in 2012, and back then I didn't know anything about the paranormal. And my best friend, which is now my wife, she had a house fire. So basically, it uprooted some strange things happening in her house. There was an instance where they had old lady perfume going from the dining room on down the hall and then dissipate. One night, they actually had an instance where there was a bouncing ball that you heard it doom, 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 down the hall. There was no ball in the house. And people were opening up the doors going, what the, they all heard it. And I was watching at that time, I thought it was a war movie or something because it was an infrared. Mm-hmm. And, growing up, my dad and I watched a bunch of war movies. So I'm like, okay, so maybe this is a war movie. But I'm like, wait a minute, this is not a war movie. I don't know what this is. So I started watching that. And then she told me what she was experiencing. And I'm just like, wait a minute, this is similar to what I just saw the night before. And she's like, what do you mean? I go, well, I was watching a show called Ghost Adventures. So, and they weren't really big and popular then. So I was able to contact Aaron Goodwin. And I told him, I was like, what we're experiencing at the house. And he's like, well, go ahead and do what we do. I'm like, and that is? And he goes, well, go ahead and investigate the house. I'm like, okay. I don't know exactly what to do. He goes, well, do what we do. I'm like, okay. He goes, no, I'm kidding. He goes, do you have an EMF detector? I said, an EM what? He goes, a little box that goes blinky, blinky, and beeps. No, I don't have one of those. He goes, well, you're going to need to get one of those. He's like, do you have a camera? I'm like, yeah, I have a Sony Handycam High 8. He goes, that'll do. And he goes, you got a digital recorder? I'm like, I have a handheld one I use in college. He's like, okay, well, you're well on your way. Okay, so I wound up going on Amazon and started doing some research for an EMF detector. Mm-hmm. And what I found was the Ghost Meter Pro, which it was economical at the time, and it was a high efficient one, but I don't like how they had like 4 options on it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with me being a computer geek, I cracked the code. I knew exactly when it was going to say yes and no. So I took all of our stuff. We went to her house and we investigated her house. And basically what I did is I took the camera and I was going room to room, and I'm just like asking questions like, who's here? We had remnants of perfume. Who's it belong to? With asking questions. And believe it or not, that night we actually got a little boy's name. He said his name is Freddie. And we got EVP. If you go to phantasmicghosthunters.com and go to evidence, you can actually listen to the EVPs. We had one that says, "Leave me alone." It's the most scariest one I've ever heard. And then, of course, we got that one that everybody gets, "Get out." So I wanted putting all this information together into a video. And I had a channel at the time, so I'm just like, what the hell? Put it out on YouTube. See what other people think about it. See if someone's going to say I'm crazy or I'm full of what. And I got a couple, responses. People are like, "Oh man, this is so cool." The one that really takes the cake is an independent producer for a network in South Haven, Mississippi. It was GTN. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one. I see the little nod there. Well, we talked to the guy from GTN, and he goes, "How long have you guys been investigating?" I'm like, "That was the first time we ever investigated anything." He's like, "Seriously?" He goes, "I've actually watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I've seen people sitting cross-legged on the floor going, 'Can you make a sound? Are you here? Can you throw something and do this?'" He goes, "You, on the other hand, were had a camera in hand. You're going room to room to room asking questions." He goes, "I like that. Can you give me more?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, can I give you more?" He goes, "I want more of that." He's like, "I'll tell you what. You give me more of that, I will sign you to my network."
Wow.
Okay. So I wound up giving him 13 more episodes plus 40,000 plus viewers to his network.
Nice.
People loved it. So ever since that, I've been bit by the paranormal bug. But the thing is, when we were doing these episodes, it was called the Phantasmic Ghost Hunters. And we didn't know what we were doing. So we took our viewers along with us as we learned. So when we got new equipment, we were learning how to use it. And at the same time, the users were experiencing us use this equipment for the first time.
That's awesome. I just want to say hello to Steve Holte also. I see him on Steve Holte's on also on Facebook.
Hi, Steve.
The Facebook users, you got to sign in a little bit with
your name.
With your name, because we don't see who you are. So sorry about that.
That's nice, Bobby. Thank you.
But that's awesome. They signed you.
Is the Bobby you're talking about Bobby Gallo?
No, Bobby that just helped us with that. We have really great people that are like religious watchers of us, and they're going to ask you a lot of questions, so be prepared.
I'm just trying to figure out where I can see the questions.
So there's a comment section. It says comments, and then it should say private.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, so the comment section, if you click on that, it'll pull those up.
Okay.
You got comments and you got private. You don't want the private. The private's something else.
That's just
right. Yeah.
Right.
Comment it comes on.
So can you see the comments now?
I see them now, yeah.
Okay. So some of them won't come through, or it'll just say Facebook user if they don't put their name in. So we kind of separate, and we'll watch. I watch YouTube. And Anthony watches Facebook, so we can check to see who's watching.
Will these comments populate, go up the screen, or do I have to scroll down?
No, they'll actually populate, and they'll move up the screen. And as we're talking, I'll kind of field the questions, and I'll be the one that types back to or I'll kind of wait until there's a pause in the conversation. I'll let you know who's asking the question and what the question is. So that way we try not to miss anybody if possible. And if I think that the question's redundant, I'll just like let it go through a little bit. Yeah. So you had your own show.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that aired?
GTN.
Okay. And how many episodes have you had so far?
We had a total of 13.
The lucky number.
Oh yeah. And in our I want to say 4th episode, we captured the Holy Grail. We captured an apparition running.
Was it in slow motion? Was it like how we would see another person running? So it's all slow motion, really.
Well, I didn't realize it until I looked at the footage afterwards, because I had an investigator that was sitting there asking questions, and I was just doing a pan. And when I did, that's when I captured it. It looked like something that just like got up and just ran.
Yeah.
I sent you a link to it earlier.
So
if you're able to play it.
Why do you think that you caught it in slow motion? Do you think it's that they don't have enough energy to run as quickly as we do?
Well, actually, it was in real time. I wound up slowing it down so people could actually see it. Because, I mean, it was pretty quick. I mean, you can't miss it because you can see it dart. You'll see like the arm go back and the leg hike up.
So it's like
I tried to debunk it. Yeah.
You started learning all this equipment back then. So, what is your go-to equipment now? You know, because there's so much new equipment out there, and a lot of equipment is being copied. You know, in a newer box. What's your go-to now? What do you feel like you get more evidence on?
Lately, when we've been going out and investigating, I have been using equipment by Ghost Gear Tech. Okay. And if you can see, they're right here behind me.
Yeah, I see a whole slew of GoPros back there, and EDIs and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm into it also, so I know all the equipment that you got back there. I probably have that with doubles. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one I really like. This is called the Epoch box, and basically it's a yes and no box.
Okay. Yeah.
And we've actually used this numerous times. We were at a place called the Achenbach Hospital in Kansas City. And we basically went ahead and played like blackjack almost. It's like, okay, well, do you want to hit? Light it up green. If you don't want to hit, light it up red. And it actually did it.
That's so
And then
cool.
we ask questions, you know, we'll be like, well, is there a male here? Boom, red. Okay, is there a female here? Green. So this is really good. Have not had any issues with it.
That's look.
Yeah.
Piece of tool there too.
Yeah, and this is the Piccolo. This one basically is a music box that detects shadows, movement. I use both of these together, and we were at a place called Hotel Metropolitan here in Paducah. All of a sudden, the music box went on. Now, this is standing up on a threshold, so it can't detect any shadows in front of it or in back of it, only over it. So something went over it that set this off. And I was like, did you just set the Piccolo off, the music box? This one popped on and said yes. So I'm like, okay. I go, do you like the music on the music box? Then it said no. I was just like, oh, that is neat. But this weekend, when we go out to the Thomas house, I'm going to be using this one. This is brand new. This is called the Phantoon. It's a 360 motion detector and shadow detector. So if it detects, it will go off. So these are like the 3 top ones that Ghost Gear Tech has, and we use them religiously.
Yeah,
I love these.
It's good to have like a couple, because it gets so monotonous when you have, you know, you walk into a place with 20 boxes of equipment, full of equipment, and your whole car full of equipment, and then you come out, you open the box, and you only use 2 pieces of equipment the whole night. So that's why you have to learn what to bring to certain locations. If you're outside, there's certain stuff you use outside. If you're in a abandoned place, there's certain equipment. If you're in a place that's actually like a museum or something that's nice, and you have to use certain equipment, because all these different things, equipment could be set up by a lot of different things because of atmosphere, what's in the air, whatever it could be. So, yeah.
Well, we have cases of equipment, but here's the thing. My deal is when we set up the equipment, we will try to put these in like the intersections of a house or hallway, in the threshold, and then we'll put a camera on it so we can see if they go off. Yeah. But the good thing is to have all this equipment, because that way you can place it all around and actually do electronic net throughout the entire place. So, and make sure that you have coverage on all of these devices.
That's right.
So, yeah, we do that a lot.
What cameras do you use?
Well, we've got the GoPros back there. We also use the AX53s and from Sony.
Okay.
We got the night vision on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing.
We got a bunch of those.
Yeah. The night vision is a big thing. And lights, you put an extended light onto it, extra lights, night vision lights, the IR.
Yep.
And you can light up rooms like crazy.
Oh, yeah. We use the dead lights. Those are awesome lights.
Dead? Who makes them?
Benton. What was his last name? Oh gosh.
I think I probably seen him at one of the shows. So I think I got a card, Deadlights.
Yeah, I think it's Josh Benton. But yeah, we got 2 of his lights. They work awesome.
Yeah. I
had
a friend that used to make lights for us, and he passed away. So I got to start looking for new lights eventually.
Well, Deadlights is the way to go.
Yeah, I think I have one of his lights. He has those big batteries that go in them, chargeable batteries. Yeah, I have one of his lights.
Well, what I wound up doing is I did some research on it, and I also talked to Josh about this, and we came up with a solution that I can hook the Deadlight to my rig and run a D-tap straight to a battery. So I'll have that light on for at least 24 hours or until the big battery dies.
Yeah. I hate chargeable. Like the lights I have made, and when I had them specially made and stuff, I always want a 9-volt in it or a couple of AA, because when you're on investigation, your lights go out. Now you got to wait for a charge, or if you have one that's charged, it won't let. I'd rather carry a couple AA batteries on me or 9-volt, and you have plenty of light for the night.
My cameras are connected with a 98 watt-hour battery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. We're getting comments. Giuseppe is the one that says how I bring the kitchen sink to the investigations. And we got Tim Dalton on also. He said that's hilarious about me bringing all the equipment.
Hi, Tim.
These guys make fun of me because I cut down a lot of equipment, but I used to bring like a trunk and a back seat full of equipment all the time, everywhere we went. And it doesn't, like you said, you have to learn what you need for certain investigations or not, So,
yeah, well, we normally carry a lot because we're also a full-fledged production company. So we're doing everything. We're bringing all the stuff to set up for interviews, to interview homeowners, the property owner, management. And then we go ahead and have equipment to shoot B-roll. We got to send a drone up into the air.
Nice.
So we cover all bases.
And you need an actual permit for that, right?
What, fly a drone?
for the drone?
You basically have to have a commercial license, which I have.
Goofy wants to know, what are your thoughts on using a Tesla radio as a paranormal investigation device?
A Tesla radio. I am not aware of a Tesla radio.
Are you talking about a Tesla coil, Goofy?
Tesla coil. I use Tesla coils. I don't know. I don't know about Tesla radio, but they are, well, Tesla coils, they do have some that actually do play music with the income of, of the static too.
Okay.
But
never use any of that.
You ever use a Tesla coil? Those are interesting to use. A Tesla coil, you could get them. I mean, I know people make this big one. Matter of fact, Steve, what's his name that was on before, Holte, he made one that's huge. A Tesla coil actually brings electricity into that coil, and it manifests, it stays in that coil. So when you're on investigation, instead of the spirit stealing your energy or anything, it actually uses the coil to manifest or do whatever it has to do. So that's what the coil is. It's not a coil, it's a generator, high voltage.
Are you basically asking if we use a EM pump?
It's basically like an EM pump, yes.
I mean, we actually have used EM pump where we go ahead and set that bad boy off and leave the room.
Yeah, they do help.
She said it is not a Tesla coil to generate high voltage electricity. Tesla coils create high voltage, low amperage, low current electricity, usually at high frequencies.
I
can't say I've ever used one.
I gotta look it up. Now I gotta look up here. We could use it.
It might be something I'll look into at a later time, but no, I've never used it before.
Maybe we could use it. Maybe we'll get some EMFs on it. I mean, I'm surprised nobody else hasn't used it. If they, you know what I mean? It's the first time I'm hearing it, and I've been doing this a very long time. So,
but it's not an EM pump.
Yeah. But
I'll be feverishly looking tonight to see.
The Tesla coil is like an EM pump. That's pretty much like it. Tesla radio, I don't know.
Isn't that what Nick Roth was using the night that Steve Holte was on there, and they had to create?
He was using the coil.
A cage, yeah.
That's what Steve Holte built. He built a big coil. I mean, if you touch that coil, with a lot of amperage, it had sparks coming out and everything. So that was pretty cool. So, with do you use well, you said you're getting what do you call it? Good EMFs. Do you use a special what do you call it, recorder or anything? So I know a bunch of guys by us, especially Tim Dalton. I'd say his Dalton, making it sound French. Tim Dalton. They're using now the DR60s. You ever hear those? The DR60 Panasonic ones. Those things they were canceled. Now they were canceled when they first came out because people were hearing extra voices on them. And now somebody decided, hey, let me check this for the paranormal. And they checked the paranormal, and they're still buying the old ones because they canceled them, Panasonic, and they're selling them for thousands of dollars now, and they work pretty good, But
personally, I think they're garbage.
Yeah,
because it's just garbled. It's the power of suggestion that people are actually thinking they're getting words out of that garbledness.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's horrible. It's electronic noise that's making all the garbleness. Okay. I mean, what I use is a DR5 through Tascam or the DR100 Mark III.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I use. That has a lower noise floor. So we're looking at about 192 kilohertz.
Okay.
Which is perfect.
I mean, I was with these guys with those things, and I don't get suggested. I got no power suggestion. I heard things come out of those things that were pretty good. I guess everybody feels different about different things. But I do got the Tascams 5s. I got a bunch of those.
Mm-hmm.
And those, you lay them all over the place, and those are good too. Which
Oh,
are
yeah.
the ones I use. If I'm going to use anything, I'm more of a camera person. So
yeah, we use a lot of Tascam product because they're our sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that helps.
Oofy wants to know if you've used the God helmet in an investigation, and you did have a picture that looked like a God helmet, but is that what it was?
I have the Ghost helmet, which is put out by Katie Stafford.
Okay.
It's basically similar. You got the magnets on both sides of your ear. One will fire off this way, one will go off this way.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your synchronization of LED lights. Yeah, I've actually used that, and I have seen some crazy stuff. And then we've actually taken it to events, and we've actually let spectators try it, and what they come out and tell us what they saw is just amazing.
So what kind of results did you have? I'm sorry, Anthony.
No, go ahead.
One of the ones that, this is kind of going to bring me into the skepticism of a medium, but I'll tell you why. We were over at, I saw that. We were over there at the Farrar Elementary School.
Oh.
And Katie came by and he goes, I got a piece of equipment I want you to try. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he whips out the Ghost helmet, and it looks like Optimus Prime's head, which is funny. So he goes, go ahead and put this on, and I'm going to walk you through what you need to do. And I did. The next thing you know, I started seeing weird shapes and colors. He goes, okay, that's good. I go, well, I'm going to take this step a little further. I'm going to go into the building wearing it. He goes, go for it. So I basically went in there. I put the helmet on. And I'm sitting on the steps of in the auditorium of the stage. Pitch dark. All you can see is the red LEDs flashing back and forth. My eyes are closed because you're supposed to keep your eyes closed.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I swear it looked like a rift that you see in Supernatural before they go into another dimension.
Yeah.
That happened. And when it did, next thing you know, I see a little boy with a little pilot's jacket with goggles on top of his head. Next to him is a little girl in a sundress. And I'm sitting there, my eyes are closed, but I'm seeing this, right? Of course, I open my eyes, there's nothing there. And I shut them, and there's still nothing there. So they went away, but I went ahead and took the helmet off and walked outside. Didn't tell anybody what I saw. Nothing. I'm still in shock what I saw. I wanted to tell everybody, but I didn't. Well, then our friend Cheryl Fletcher shows up. She's a medium. And I told her about this helmet. And she's like, ooh, can I try it? I'm like, by all means, go for it. So she goes into the building, sits on the stage, same place. She's in there for about 10 minutes. Next thing you know, she comes out and her face is blank. I'm like, what did you see? She goes, well, I saw a little boy with a bomber jacket with goggles on his head and a little girl in a sundress. I'm like, no way.
And you're
she goes, yeah. And I didn't really believe in mediums until that happened. And then I shared what I saw, and she said, I saw the exact same thing. I'm like, oh. So, yeah.
And that's how we see things. It's just like that. It's like if you were to go outside, look at something, come back inside, lie down, and close your eyes, and you repicture it, it's just the same thing. I don't think people understand that, but that's amazing. And that's one of the places I've always wanted to go after watching Tenny and Chad Lindbergh, because they have strange experiences in such different ways.
Well, we were there filming. I filmed the interview with a team that I invited up. And one of the things that they said, they were there investigating, and at about 11:30, 11:45, at night, they heard a basketball game going on downstairs. They're like, oh my God, someone broke in and they're playing basketball. So they jumped up out of their bed, run on down the flights of stairs, open up the door, pitch black. Nothing. Yeah. They're like, what the? So when he told me that, after I took the helmet off before I went in to do my experiment, I have a double jersey box put out by Dan Todd, and he branded it to us. So when I took the helmet off, all of a sudden it went, Gavin, like that. I'm like, okay. And then not even a minute later, we heard boom, boom, boom. It was a basketball game coming across the box. I looked at Craig, and he goes, that's what we heard. That's what we were woken up to. So we're listening to it for like a while, and I'm just like, I'm going to test this theory. I'm going to carry this into the gymnasium. And he goes, oh, it's just going to stop like it did for us. So next thing you know, we open up the door. It's still going. So I'm like, So I'll take the double jersey box. I placed it down on the ground, and there was a big wheel that was in the auditorium, gymnasium on the floor. So I'm just like, okay. So I took my DR5, put it on the seat of the big wheel, and we left. I went back in, put one camera on one side, one camera on the other side. We had Craig and another investigator up above, and they're actually still witnessing this whole thing. I'm filming this. We got it on recorder. We're asking questions. Paula's like, who's winning this game? She started looking at people up on the board, and she started naming some of the people on the board to see if she could get a response. And when we took the recorder and I started playing it back, you could hear the ball hitting the backboard. You could hear the squeaks of their sneakers. You could hear the dribbling. The one that really got me is you could hear the pep band, but there was no applause. There's no hooping and hollering. There's no cheering. There was none of that. So it comes to the point of I want to go in there and grab the cards so I can take them out of the camera and dump the footage. Well, when I did, I dumped all the footage and put the card back in, went back in, and we did the whole investigation that night. And we got some crazy stuff. Paula started saying she wanted to be a bad girl, so she was running up and down the hall. The next thing you know, she goes, I'm going into the principal's office. She goes, okay, Miss Bad Principal, I'm in the office. I was bad. What are you going to do about it? She got slapped on the hand, and it looked like a ruler mark on her hand.
Oh, wow.
I videoed all of this, all the evidence and all the activity. I videoed all of it. I get home, 648 gigabytes of useless corrupt footage. Whatever was there would not let me have it.
It's said that the principal is supposed to be a very, very bad man, and he's extremely...
And the janitor.
Yes. Both are very, very bad men.
Yeah. But whatever was there would not let us have the footage. And it was amazing because we had a lot of people there that witnessed everything. So wasn't blowing smoke up anybody's ass. It was real. Because we have witnesses. But it was the first time ever I get home and I have no footage. I worked on that thing for about a month, trying to do video recovery, trying to, reverse engineer the video. Nothing. It was gone completely.
That's sad.
That happened. That happened to me a couple of times. Spend the whole night in a place, you come back out, and it's like, and you have a bunch of cameras going, and it's like the one camera where there's activity, there's nothing on it, and if the battery's good, everything's good, cards, everything. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, or how about this? You get something, you play it back right then and there, and you hear something, and then later on, you don't hear it no more when you play it back. You ever have those?
Oh, I got one better than that. We were filming at the Malvern Manor in Malvern, Iowa. And we had a trailer at the time because we had base camp in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And back then we had like lots and lots and lots of followers. Kind of fell off since we like disappeared for a while. But anyway, I had people say, "Hey, can you go ahead and drop your camera down and go live and let us watch the DVR footage?" I'm like, sure, why not? So I went live, lowered the phone down so they can watch the DVR footage. So while we're in there filming and investigating, they're watching the DVR footage. We went down Shadow Hallway, and I wound up moving a chair toward the center of the hallway, and I put a thermal on there. I put the DVR camera up above, and I put the SLS camera on there. So I'm like covering a lot of avenues, plus a full spectrum camera shooting straight down this hallway. Well, while I'm setting that up, Paula pulls up the live feed, looks at her phone, and she's like, "Gavin, there's somebody outside by the trailer rummaging through your stuff." I looked at it, and I saw it looked like somebody was doing this number like that over the table. I took a beeline. I ran out of there. I was gone. I got out there. There's nobody there. There was no trace of anybody being there.
Oh, wow.
I asked people on Facebook if they noticed anything. They said, no, we didn't see anything. I go, Paula saw someone. I saw someone digging through my stuff. And when I got out there was nothing there. Take this a step further. We were investigating Hank's bedroom. And this is when Paula got scratched for the first time. I was so happy. Kind of mean, but I was happy because nothing ever happened to her. She was like, "Do you like taunting women? Why do you get a kick out of that?" Next thing you know, she's like doing this number. She's like, "I got a burning sensation on my back," and I'm like, "Yes, you got scratched." She goes, "Although I'm not sharing your enthusiasm, come over here and look," because she had a camera in one hand and a meter in the other hand, so she couldn't do it herself. I had a camera and I had a meter in my hand, so I couldn't do it. Sure enough, I lift up her shirt. There's a scratch going from the bottom of her bra straight down. So I'm like, ooh. Yeah. So going back to the person rummaging through my stuff, when it comes time to pack up, I noticed that my lock's missing. Everything is all in the trailer, ready to go. And I'm like, I had the lock out here on the table. The lock gone. She's like, well, maybe you packed it. I'm like, I'm not going through that whole thing looking for it. And I had to zip tie the door just around the lock portion of it 4 times to make sure it doesn't rip open and everything fly out.
Yeah.
So I get home. I tell Cheryl about this whole thing and told her that we're in Hank's bedroom. And she goes, are you by chance missing anything? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, are you missing anything? I'm like, matter of fact, yeah, I am. I'm missing my lock. She goes, oh, that's Hank. He's a klepto. He likes to steal a lot of things. And I'm like, what? A week later, I get a phone call from Josh. He's all, dude, are you missing anything? Like a lock? I'm like, yeah, I am. He goes, well, I was giving a tour, opened up Hank's dresser drawer, and there it was laying on top of his pajamas.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was crazy. But I saw it on her screen. She saw it. Nobody else saw it. And there's nothing on the footage either proving what we saw.
Wow. Hank was probably rubbishing through your stuff to see what he could grab.
Yeah, you grabbed the lock instead.
You grabbed the lock. You couldn't get anything else because you're out there too fast.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing that actually happened.
You know? And so is that like one of the worst locations you've been to, or you have been to anything worse than that?
Worse than that?
Yeah.
We went to a place called the Industrial Slaughterhouse in Fancy Farm, Kentucky.
Oh,
and
name alone sounds good.
Yeah. Well, what happened is they had 2 girls that were practicing witchcraft. They wound up dabbling into witchcraft, and they conjured something into that location. because they would use it as a haunted attraction, and their actors were getting scratched, they were getting bit, punched. One girl actually wound up getting institutionalized because she was sitting in the room where she's supposed to. And she said she saw something come out over the TV to her, and she was traumatized ever since.
Oh, wow.
And one girl actually got bit under her arm. So we wound up going in there investigating, and we wound up bringing in another team that they wanted to see what we do. So we let them come with us. Well, they were kind of getting antsy because nothing was happening. I'm like, hello, it's a paranormal investigation. You might not get anything. Ghosts don't work on a time clock. Oh, I better work now. Better do something. They don't work on a time clock. They don't work for us. They will appear when they want to. So they were getting a little antsy, and one lady got pissed off, and she goes, well, we're going to leave. Nothing's happening. Right when she said that, 5-inch deep-welled sockets were thrown at us.
That's insane.
One of my investigators got hit in the back with a 5-inch piston.
Wow.
Yeah, the attacks were just coming left and right. I had thermal on her. She was sitting on the floor, and I saw her head get slammed into the workbench, and then she got sucker punched. So we had to figure out what is going on, what's causing this. And we wound up doing some deep searching, and we found 2 hex bags. And we found a talisman. We found a vase that had some weird writing on it. So it comes to us that they were dabbling in witchcraft, and they conjured something. There's something there. I mean, it got so bad that when we were leaving, I get smudged. So I'm doing the T-pose. And the investigator that's smudging me is like, dude, look at your fingertips. They're bleeding. I had blood under my fingertips.
Oh my
And if
God.
that didn't take the case, I walked outside and got clawed in the face. My whole, right in here was bleeding. And he's got all this on footage while it was happening.
These were people who were just dabbling in something they knew nothing about.
Yeah.
But there were probably enough of them that they created a tulpa or an egregore that was negative.
They brought something in there.
People don't realize how dangerous it can be to do something like that, or that it can even happen. They think that it's something that's a PK manifestation, or that it's a poltergeist. You could create something from nothing.
But what we wound up doing is unorthodox, but we had no choice. We had to do something. We found a footlocker. Inside the footlocker was a period pair of knickers.
Oh.
Okay.
And it was firing off high on EMF on that.
Nice.
Which blew our mind. So I was like, we're going to have to do something, because the investigators started getting sick. They were like wanting to throw up. So we put the footlocker, the knickers, the hex bags, and the vase. Destroyed the base. We threw it inside the thing, and we set the whole box on fire. It let out a blood-curdling scream. It lasted for probably 15 minutes, and the damn box didn't even burn. But it was changing colors. It was going from red to green to blue. And then finally, after 30 minutes, the box went up in flames.
Wow.
And we got rid of whatever was there.
Hi, Nicole. Ufi wanted to know, and this is something that I think a lot of people ask questions about. How did Hank steal the lock?
I have no clue.
Basically, I think that sometimes they just do like a disappearing act, and sometimes it happens with tricksters or, like mimics or things like that. They just remove something and then they put it back someplace else to play a game.
I have no clue. I mean, I've heard about it happen at Ashmore Estates. Workers would actually have their tools placed somewhere. They go to lunch, come back, their tools are missing.
I've been to many
That's
places
power
like that.
tools. That's power tools. That's heavy. That's a bit lighter than a lock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had that in the city working in different locations, and you put something down, and I'm talking about jackhammers and stuff, and you put it down and you walk across the room and there's nobody in the room, and you come back and it's like, how did I get over there? I just had it over here, now I got to go back across the room and get it. It's like, you get pissed off because those things are not light. Yeah, I mean, there's different. I mean, if the thing can move something that heavy, there has a lot of energy that it could do it with, and there must be something in the air, between EMFs or some kind of energy that they're drawing from,
Right.
It could be something, and like the lock disappears, and remember, spirits are not. I mean, if they grab something and they're going to bring it somewhere else, you're not going to see it because it's not going to be floating like you see in the movies. Things will just float through the air. They'll just take it and go.
Yeah, like cloak.
Yeah. So, I mean, how they do it, we're not going to know a lot of those answers until we get to where they are. And we don't want to get there. We don't want to be dead to find out.
I mean, we truly don't know what type of energy they actually are.
That's right.
There's how many different forms of energy, and we have no idea what they are.
Yeah. And it depends on intention and perception too. If it's something that someone is creating, is it in a positive way? Is it in a negative way? It could be anything, and that's what's so dangerous about it. It depends on the people. Are they dangerous? Are they negative? I mean, we never know. And it could just keep building depending on what people are seeing when they go into this place, Yeah. It's sad. Sure. It's really sad.
That's
Squirrel.
Squirrel. So let's move on to your books. So you wrote Ghost Hunting Sensationalism in Social Media. That was your first book, and that's already out. And everyone can find it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble?
Barnes & Noble right now. Yeah.
Okay. So what made you write this book?
Well, I kind of got a little irate on how the paranormal field just kind of went down to a downhill spiral ever since 2018. And, I would always post about how I feel because, I'm a straightforward person. I'm going to tell it like it is. I don't care what anybody says. So I will post it how I feel. And next thing you know, I'm starting having people actually tell me, it's like, hey, you need to just leave those other folks alone. Just worry about yourself. Stay in your own lane. Just don't worry about what they're doing. Just worry about what you do. And I'm just like, you just don't understand or comprehend the damages they're actually doing. And finally, I just kind of like dipped off into the darkness and I wrote the book. So if they, if they want to sit there and tell me to stay on my own lane online, well, you can't tell me what to do when I write a book.
Did you notice a decrease in friends on your page? Did you have a retaliation because of it?
Some, yeah. But they always came back. And they're like, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. I'm seeing it. He goes, I'm even tired of seeing it too. But, what can you do? You can't change anything. You want to bet? I go, anybody can make a difference in anything if they put their mind to it and they have a following behind them.
I'm just putting some information up so everybody can find it.
The book.
Gotcha.
And it's in Barnes & Noble, you said?
Yep. I sent you the link earlier.
Yeah, I took that. I'm just typing it up so it can go into the screen. So we have a second one that's coming out. I put the wrong one up. This is okay. So this one's September 24th. The second one is The Ghost We Make: Exploration of the Power of Suggestion. What's the difference between?
What's the difference between those two?
Mhm.
Well, this one has to deal with the troublemakers in social media that's using the paranormal for their own financial gain and faking evidence so they can get more subs, more likes, so they can just fill their wallet. I mean, the thing that really gets me is, it all started in
That's too
2018.
much nowadays too.
Oh yeah, their channels. Yes, they have a lot of a huge following, but their channels were going stale. You can only watch how many pranksters videos before it just I'm gonna go watch something else. Well, they all happened to see paranormal was really on the uppity up. A lot of people were joining it. A lot of people were doing it. So they're like, oh, hey, we found a new niche. So they decided to jump on in. They're not paranormal investigators. They're not ghost hunters. They're just YouTubers. They used to do prankster videos, dumpster diving videos, exploration videos, urbex videos, things like that. Oh, lawless videos, things where the cops are chasing them. Now they're into paranormal. And the reason why I say they're damaging it is A, they come up with fake history. They lie about things inside their videos. They fake evidence. Everything is a demon. Come on now. If they would even encountered a legitimate demon, A, they would piss themselves, run screaming like a little girl, or they would get ripped to shreds. But these guys, oh my God, I was captured by a demon. I was held in the demon house. No, you weren't. It's all BS. And also changing the name, like the Monroe Demon House. There's no demon there. It's just the mysterious Monroe House. Now the latest one is the what is that one place? The Garner House. This idiot called it the Demon Garner House. No, it's just the Garner House. Period. No demon. Period. No demon has ever even been listed. No one's ever said anything about it except when these idiots decide to come there and say there's a demon there. Someone actually tried to say there was a demon at the Octagon Hall, and the owner just lost it. There is no demon at Octagon Hall. So yeah, they're damaging the field and damaging people's locations with this crap.
You are not passionate about this at all.
Oh, when I get fired up, I get fired up.
I can see that.
I'm not crazy with the demon word. I call them negative entities, but the whole thing is they sell more when they say demon. They put demon in front of the word, and you know what that happens is because television is what started with. It opened up the field to us, and because I guess I've been doing it a long time, so in like 2004 is when the shows started coming out. But back then there was more. I feel that the investigators back then were more for, and I think the even production company were more to get the answers. But then they weren't getting the answers, so now they have, of course, they got to start making things up, and that's what the shows. A lot of stuff going on now with some of the shows.
Yeah, they're only doing that so they can make money.
And what happens is they call everything demon because that's what television does, and everybody feels that if you have a television show, you're going to be somebody or everything. That doesn't necessarily. And they always say demon, demon, demon. And if you watch television, any kind of movie that comes out and everything, when it comes to spirits, all the demonic, the demons and everything else like that. So I think television is the biggest blame on that because from TV shows to movies to whatever's out there, they're making. So now these people come along and they feel, oh, I want to get to the paranormal field. Hey, let me watch a movie and I could get that. Oh, yeah, demon, the word demon. The demon. Oh, yeah, because it sells. It sells the things. It makes people come to it. Now, if you come in and I Google the word demon or go on YouTube and say demon, you know how many videos will come up?
A lot.
A lot of videos. Now, if I put ghost hunting, videos will come up, but not as many as demon videos. Because that's because everybody said, "Oh, it's demonic, it's demons and stuff like that." So that's, I think, has got to do with television that influence a lot of these people nowadays, that they think, "Oh, I'm going to get a TV show by saying I got a demon attachment, I got a demon."
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, we only have one particular team to thank for that. They started it. Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. Not they, he started it, and
So-
he kept doing it, and almost like, if he's not getting possessed in every episode, there's always a demon here, demon there. Yeah.
Demons everywhere. It's like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh.
You know, they say the word demon and go ka-ching.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
but the thing that got me is, these YouTubers faking stuff so they can get more views and stuff. I mean, they're using fishing line, they're using masking. Any clever video editor can actually see what they're doing. They can see that things are not, in place, or things are getting masked out. I like those videos that they show with this one kitchen where stuff starts flying everywhere. Yeah, okay. No.
There's also, they use magnets too. To fling open closets. You take a magnet, you turn it backwards, you put boom, it's going to go. It's going to shoot. They got all these different gadgets they can do it with now.
I mean, that's the reason why I always, when someone sends me a video and they show me a door is opening up, I'm like, okay, I want to see the top of the door, I want to see the bottom of the door, and I want to see what's behind the door. Yep. If you can't furnish that, then you faked it.
Yeah. My friend George says, I remember when Anthony was a demon. I know George Hirschman since I was 5 years old. I'm 61 now, so I know him a long time. So he knows those days when I was a little bad. So, yeah, I mean, that's how they sell tickets. That's how they get. I mean, and like I said, and I blame television and these new people coming in. They don't know better.
Yeah.
I came up to an era that you couldn't talk about paranormal. You couldn't talk about anything, and then 2004 came to start talking about. Now, look, we're doing podcasts about it right now. That's the whole thing. Now we could talk a lot more freer about it. So back then, everything was a demon. If you don't.
Yeah.
If you've seen something, it's got to do with the devil and stuff, especially coming up religious, the devil. So I still blame it's the movies that has to do with a lot of that,
Oh, yeah. Well, Hollywood's actually depicted and tore a lot of stuff and gave us a lot of subliminal messages and imagery for, like, whenever we see a demon on TV, we're hoping to actually see one for real. Or we're hoping to see ghosts with sunken in eyes and glowing, and none of that. No.
I mean, that'd be great to catch on camera, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. It most certainly would.
Oh, like us, we'd be like, "Where is it? Let's get it! Let's get it!" And we'll be running to it. Everybody else be out crapping themselves. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it'd be like Ghostbusters. Stay close.
Yeah.
Stay close. Get her.
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be very interesting in any kind of show because we're all just so excited about having a full-blown, full-body apparition is like the holy grail for us. If people would be running, we would be running towards it.
Yeah, I've seen them. I actually seen physical, because I'm a sensitive, and I've been seeing stuff since I was a little kid. That's how I got into the paranormal for years. But I actually seen a spirit, a full body, standing over a grave of a woman praying. She had red hair, white gown, and they were blowing in the air. But back then, I was 13 years old. So I didn't think about taking pictures.
But how can an apparition actually have color?
Well, this one did, and when I see spirits, I could tell you the color from the color of the hair to the color of their shoes. I mean, everything. I could tell you what they're wearing and everything. You know, even
I've seen them with
jewelry.
color too.
You know,
I think
I mean,
when
I
you
don't know if it's Apple. You see, when we see things, it's not like you're seeing something. We're actually seeing with our third eye.
Right.
So it's projecting inside us that we're actually seeing something. And I did it. I was talking on stage at the Ritz Theater at the time, and they asked me how I see it. And to me, it's like, you remember the not the fax machines, but the like a printer. You know how the printer, the lights go down?
Mm-hmm.
When I see a spirit, it's like that. I start seeing maybe the top of the head going down, or I see it from the other side coming up. And I can actually tell you what everything that's on that person.
Wow.
You know? And I've done it in the past. And matter of fact, I do spirit art. So I actually draw them now too. So I draw what I see. I've been doing that for years, but I can draw what I see. And Maureen see my drawing, so it's not like, you know.
And I think everybody sees them differently, because I don't see mine like that. I see mine like as if it's a memory of something, or it plays out like a video sometimes.
Or a premonition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, everybody sees it differently, but we do see it somehow, and that's the way I explain it, like a printer, you know, like a you know, and where color comes from, maybe because we're seeing it in our mind, maybe that's what color's being put into it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? We're not seeing actually with our eyes in the corner, because if I could see with my eye, well, maybe we do, but maybe it translates into our head and gives us the color. But I mean, if I see it, not necessarily everybody with me sees it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'll see something. And I had cases where I seen something in the corner. I said, there's something in that corner. And they threw SLS in that corner. And there was something in that corner with the SLS, what I was seeing. And then I go into the corner and make sure there's nothing, because I know how to debunk SLSs. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I know that there's a million things that can make those figures. And I go in those and I check them out. Like I said, I've been using this stuff for a long time. So I know how to, you know, look and see what's real and what's not real and question. Because that's one thing I do. When I see something, I do question it before. Sometimes I see things I don't even mention to people because, you know, I don't want to make questions.
You actually made a really good point. Anthony and I, we were in the same place, same time, in two different rooms. We both saw the same little girl. She looked the same face-wise and hair-wise, and we explained it the exact kid, but she was wearing different clothes. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Different colors.
Wow.
So
that's weird.
You know, like I said, maybe it comes through the brain and it gives us colors. Because everybody, like I said, sees it differently. I mean, do you see? Are you sensitive, or you just get pulled?
I don't have a gift.
Gavin,
now, Paula, on the other hand, she does. She is a sensitive and an empath.
I think you have something. You just don't know it yet.
It would be nice. I mean,
I think
because like I told Cheryl, like I told Cheryl, I go, you know, it would be nice if I could actually see them, because that way I can know which direction I'm talking. Because I could be like talking over here, and they're like, "Hey, buddy, I'm right here," or they'll be standing next to me going, "Yoo-hoo," and I'm just talking forward, you know. So yeah, I would love to be able to see them.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I always say, why me? Is it a gift or a curse?
Both.
And because sometimes you don't want to see certain things. You know, if you're walking down, because I have it that I could walk. I worked down by World Trade Center after it went down, and you walk the streets there and start seeing things that you don't want to see. You know, and you feel things or you hear things. You know, it's not. Sometimes, you know, you say it's a gift because you see something that, you know, that's not bad. But then you get something like that where you don't want to see certain things. So that's why, is it a gift or a curse? You know what I mean? It's depending how situation you're in or what you're seeing at the time. So.
Or if you're with their family members and you're giving them a message, sometimes that's a little bit of both. It's really hard to tell someone about their family members, and it's maybe it's the first time you're getting to tell someone and they want to hear it, but they don't want to hear it. But then afterwards, they're thanking you and they're grateful that they got to hear the message. But at first they were not they're not responsive. They just, it's hard. It's really hard to hear that.
Yeah. So, with social media, with like, you're right, with a lot of stuff going on with the paranormal now, you know, how everybody's in it, and there's groups in it that just in it for see what kind of if they can make money off it, or just, you know, maybe get a show out of it or whatever.
Oh yeah,
popular. Well, become popular.
Yeah, I started a blog where I start writing stuff on how I feel throughout the days or the weeks and stuff. And my recent one I wrote called "Fake It Till You Make It," and basically it has to do with these YouTubers are now getting involved with paracelebs. We've got a certain group that always is having a demon chasing them, or they're trapped by one, or they almost die, and this and that BS. They got to do an episode with Ghost Adventures. Not only that, there was another one that actually got to do a show with Project Fear. Actually, there was two of them that got to do it with Project Fear. And then the dumpster diver got to work with Nick Roft. I mean, there are a lot of paranormal investigators out there that do it for the right reason. They enjoy what they do, and they never get a chance to actually be on any of these shows. So I guess, unfortunately, you have to fake it till you make it.
Well, I mean, the people that they're putting on there now have a following, and they do on TikTok. They got big followings, or wherever they may be. Yeah. And that's what I think the network now is pushing to, because they want to grow their numbers on shows or whatever. So they'll pick somebody with a big number of followers. Yeah. And I've seen that too. I've been doing this a long time, and I start seeing people that maybe here a year or so, and they got big numbers on TikTok or whatever they might be. And now they're doing stuff, you know, on shows and everything, which I don't care to be on the show or not. Me, I really don't care. I've been on a couple shows, but I mean, I really don't care to be on the show. I mean, because I can keep it real. Productions want you to make it what they want, and I want to keep it real. I keep it real. If I'm on a show, great, but I'm not going to be on a show and give anything fake. That's not me, you know.
And lately, there's this particular YouTuber. He has like 2.9 million followers on TikTok. He will go to a location, talk to the owner, like, hey, I'll tell you what, if you let me come in and investigate your location and I can bring my other friend with me, I will give you a lot of exposure on TikTok because I'll go live. And really, you're using, just because you have 2.9 million followers, you think locations are going to let you in for free?
Some of them do.
That's what they're doing now.
Some of them actually will let you in for free if you expose them.
Yeah, which is sad. So basically, these locations are depending on these YouTubers to help get them more clout and popularity in the paranormal field.
Yeah, they maybe they feel that they're going to get more clients, more people to come in, because a lot of locations nowadays are almost they're going bankrupt. A lot of them because
they're struggling.
True,
they're struggling. So if they get somebody like that to bring some people in, maybe they can make a couple extra bucks. I can see where they're coming from, but in the paranormal field, I can't see that.
Right.
You know?
Because then what happens is they come in, they do what they do, they fake evidence, or they rename the place, and now they just basically tarnish that location. Like there's this one where this one owner allowed these famous YouTubers in, and the first thing that they faked was their camera falling over that was on a 3-legged tripod at the hospital. And the only reason why the owner invited them is because their volunteers were like, "Oh, I want to meet them." That was it. They come in, they fake evidence. Seriously? But they don't care because A, they got to come in and do what they wanted to do, and they left. Like, for instance, this is the biggest one that pisses me off. The Bell Witch Cave. They told them, you cannot film. You can film the interview, you can film the outside, but you do not film inside. They said, okay. Once they got on in, cameras went on. They don't care. They got the footage. They got to shoot what they wanted to do. They put the video out. They're done. They don't care. Well, the Bell Witch Cave went ahead and said, you know what? No more investigators. No more investigating, period. It took another group. Yeah, it took another group a couple years to establish a relationship with the owner with the premise and promise that this would never happen again. And now it's finally opened back up for public investigation, but only with this particular group that worked very hard to get it open again.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame.
It is.
I mean, they don't care. They really don't care. They want to have their, their numbers up, likes or whatever. And a lot of people that are following these people are not really into paranormal. They just put them on just to see what they're up to. Hey, what they're going to do? What's the crazy thing they're going to do this week? And they're not really into paranormal.
Or they follow them because they're tending to the the younger generation, where they can be total idiots and appeal to the younger generation, and also their eye candy. That's really about it.
See, I could never be a TikToker because I'm not eye candy.
I wouldn't say I'm Tom Cruise, but
maybe like look like a meatball or something, like some kind of Italian food. But I know, like a look, But yeah, it's just sad.
Yeah. So the second book is going to be dealing with a lot of the ghosts that we make. We can actually manifest things. We can manifest quote unquote spirits. Also things like using different tools. You've got the ideal motor effect. You've got the things working by your intent, intuition, things like that. So basically that book is all about anybody can actually manifest a haunting, and how and why.
Yeah.
That's a deep subject.
And I've been did some private homes, and you can see how you go in and how you're finding stuff, but then you just want to get rid of it. And the people don't seem to want to get rid of it because I think they manifest their own stuff. Because I'm not saying in every case. I know the case I've been in was a person living on her own, and we used to go there. I worked on that case for almost 3.5 years before we started. We have people coming in to cross over. We have people come just to talk to her. We gave her all kinds of sage so she could do a house. We just went through everything with her. And every time she had a problem, we went and we helped her because she was getting scratched and everything, which I think it was her cat, tell you the truth. But it got to a point like we can't be doing this no more. What? And she wouldn't help herself. So I think she kind of manifested something into her apartment and just didn't want to get rid of it. You know, and we just kept on going there. I think just keep her company sometimes. You know, even though we're there and stuff. But it was 3.5 years we were there. And we looked at, you know, you need us, give us a call again. We felt bad, but there's nothing we could do no more. You know?
And usually, sometimes when you go into a location and you start getting, you know, high readings and stuff, it's probably due to EMF leakage. You go into a house, even though you shut the power off, it doesn't matter. You can still get EMF off of a fan, off a TV, clock radio, microwave, any appliance, even though, quote unquote, there is no power going to that building, you're still going to get it. Now, think about it. If you're getting that amount of EMF when the power is off, think about it when the power is on, how much is leaking, how much these folks are hallucinating or thinking they're seeing something. Because, I mean, high EMF can actually affect your brain where you're thinking there's somebody there. You get that feeling somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
Because it like kind of makes the hair stand up on your back. But it's
you get nauseous, everything. I'm a retired electrician, so I know what you're talking about.
I mean, a ballast.
A ballast, you mean? And sometimes when you shut things off, that doesn't mean that there's still charge inside these things.
Yeah, the capacitors.
You know what I mean? So on in so many buildings too, especially old ones, they don't have proper grounding.
Right.
And that they don't have grounding on them. So you're getting a feedback off a neutral that's somewhere else, or I mean, it doesn't matter if you shut things off. It's I mean, from things are not properly grounded, or there's a cross in wires, or whatever it could be. Yeah, high EMFs, and they could cause you sick. They can even give you rashes. I mean, people walk out and they're like, "Oh, my back is burning." Yeah, because the high EMFs can cause the static electricity. Now you're walking and it's moving up and down your back, your shirt or your jacket. And now you get, that hurts. It's static electricity. And then you pull it up and there's red mark there and it looks, oh, wow, look, I'm burned. It's static electricity. So it has a lot to do with, all that. So, yeah, when it comes to EMFs and, you have to do. I mean, how many times you were in a place and the ceiling fan is going downstairs and you're on the top and you're walking?
Oh, yeah.
And you're getting fed, but the lights are all off. What happened? And then you go down and say, oh, shit, it's on the floor. Oh, this thing's on the floor. Let's sit on the floor and play. No, there's a ceiling fan or a light underneath you that's downstairs that's on. You know? So, yeah. So
well, this actually happened at the Bovar, which is Jefferson Davis's house in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Okay.
We were invited to an event where we were leading the investigation for one of our teams, and then we had a couple other ones. We were up in this one particular room, and this guy just kept on saying, "I'm getting high EMF on this Bible that's inside this case on the floor." And I'm like, okay, so I want to put in a K2 on there. Sure enough, that thing is just going nuts, right? So he keeps on saying there's something is trapped in this book, inside this box. And I'm thinking to myself going, okay, no, I don't think so. So I took the K2, I put it around on the other side of the box, nothing. I put it on the side of the box, nothing. Put it in front of the box, boom. Put it on top of the box, boom. So I kind of like traced the K2 in front of it and noticed there's an AC duct underneath. Bingo. There you go. I picked up the box, moved it, and put it someplace else. Nothing.
And people And that's where all these TikTok and YouTubers come in, that or Instagram, and they do a thing and say, check this out, this high EMF, so it's coming from and they'll play it off that box. Instead of going that one step further to see why it's coming off that box, they'll just say it's coming off that box. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I understand why, I mean, with that, there's too much of that going on right now. You know, and it's ruining the field for the rest of us that want to be honest and been in it for a long time for the right reasons. You know, trying with evidence, trying to help other people understand what's going on in their homes. But people are trusting us less. Now you got the AI, artificial intelligence. Now that's going to screw a lot of stuff up, because they're going to put that. I mean, words, the EMFs, the EVPs, and then you got the EVPs, and then with that's going to screw up a lot of things. Even cameras. We might have to go backwards.
Well, you really don't, quote unquote, need to have AI for that. I mean, you can have another recorder.
Oh, yeah.
Put that thing on play, and you already got voices on it. Then you have your other recorder over here recording. And what you do is you'll play off of what's coming off of this recorder on this hand. And when you do, it's going to record on this one. So if you go ahead and ask a question, this one will actually say the person's name. And you'll be like, oh my God, it said Sally. So now you've got the names coming across Sally. You saying, oh my God, it's Sally on your recorder over here, even though you already staged it on this hand.
Yep. No, that's one of the things. But that's been stuff like that's been going on for a while too. You know what I mean? That's been going on. But I think with this new stuff, I mean, you don't need that recorder. Way things are going to be, I'm telling you, we might have to go back to the old stuff with the cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Go back to the old cassette tapes and the Super 8. Like how I started with the Super 8, the big camera, you know, and everything.
I got 3 of them.
Yeah. The Super 8s, I love those things. The Sony Super 8s were the best back then, you know?
Yep.
Now it's too much money for those damn tapes.
Oh, God, it's like $24 for 2.
Yeah. I remember, you used to buy 4 of them for like $11.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, now they're up in price and everything. So it's crazy how equipment just, you know, everything got so expensive and everything. You know, but with the, you know, even with the equipment nowadays that are coming out, you know, you could debunk some of that stuff too with the, you know, some of
the Therman,
the Rampart, you know, with the walkie-talkies, you know, how many times do you think you're watching it on TV and the Rampart's going off? It's like, I think they're chucking the radios. So all you got to do is just hit the radio and it'll send them off. I mean, you need to know your location, and you need to know who's there and what's there, and to be honest with things. But there's too much out there that.
Well, there is one particular app. I'm not going to say what it is, but what it does, if you put it on your phone, you go to the location. I will go ahead and say we are at Octagon Hall. Okay. And you run this app. It will either A, use cellular, or B, it'll use Wi-Fi. It's going to find out exactly where you are by using location. So now the app knows you are in Franklin, Kentucky. You are at Octagon Hall. Next thing you know, it's going to start spitting stuff out that will pertain to Octagon Hall.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or even the apps, you got the apps too, that there's microphones. That's why when you get the apps, they say put the microphones on and stuff. You got these apps, and you just go to a location. The freaking phone is listening to you the whole time.
It doesn't
matter. And then you go to this location and say, ask a question, and all of a sudden about the location comes out. That's why the apps are very questionable. I'm not a big app person. I don't really like apps.
If you're going to use an app, you need to turn your locator off and turn your phone on airplane mode. If you still get stuff with like that, then there's a 50-50 chance, good possibility. But if you turn airplane mode on, that means there is no Wi-Fi signal, there is no cellular signal. And you turn your locator off, it can't locate you.
And you also got to shut off your microphone. Because that,
I leave black on.
I'd still think pick up stuff on a microphone. Because the microphones, I had places where I went and I know people with apps and you say something and it's like, we were just talking about that at lunch. And now it's saying something now. I'm like, something was listening to us because it's actually bringing up something that we spoke about like 2 hours ago. So I really think the microphones also on these things, the cell phones and everything with the apps and stuff. Because I do I do use my phone if I'm in a location, take picture or something like that. Or I have a recorder and I record with it. I record with it. Those things are fine. But when you bring the apps in from ghost apps and stuff like that, I don't know to trust them too much, as and some people swear by them, but I don't know. I just don't. I'm not me, because cell phone's made for cell phone, not all these other gadgets. So
Gavin, you have a podcast called The Live Phantasmic Journey.
Phantasmic Journey Podcast. Yep.
What nights?
We used to do it on Wednesdays. We're going to try to start it back up, but it's kind of hard for me to do it right now because I'm currently enrolled at Full Sail University, going for my bachelor's degree in digital cinematography. So it kind of cuts into my time to do the podcast. But we've done 4 seasons of it. We've actually talked to all the para-celebs. We've talked to gear designers, location owners, authors. You can actually listen to all those on Phantasmic Journey. Oh my God, I'm getting all locked up here. PhantasmicGhostHunters.com and click on podcasts. You can actually listen to all 4 podcasts there. But we do want to start back up. It's just kind of time consuming right now with me in class.
Amazing. Yeah. You have so much going on. You have In Shadows Entertainment Group.
Yep, my production company. Yep.
Company, and you said that you use that to help other people film, and then you film for yourself.
Correct.
You do what kinds of events?
We will actually go ahead and film corporate events. Sometimes promotional events. Basically, it's going to be mostly with promotional or corporate, but we have been asked to film, projects. Everything was going good before COVID hit.
We were talking about that today.
We were shooting commercials, we were shooting music videos and all that stuff. And once COVID hit, we wound up losing all of our clients because, we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait.
Everybody's working home.
Yeah, pretty much.
COVID ruined a lot of things for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah, it did.
You also have your own radio station?
I do.
WGKC,
today's hottest country. Yep, it's on 93.6 FM.
Gavin is a country singer.
Yes, I am. I'm a signed recording artist with Mirror Image Records in Nashville. Released my first album, Gavin Kelly, Honolulu Blue, in 2011. I had 2 singles. My first one was Get You Some of That, Get You Some of This. And then my second single was In America, which went to 440 plus FM radio stations on the 4th of July in 2011.
And I have to say, I told Gavin that country makes my ears bleed, but his stuff is really good. It's really, really good. You guys have to hear this stuff. It's amazing. I mean, he's got an amazing voice. I have to admit.
Thank you very much.
First time my ears didn't bleed.
Yeah. Yeah, plus also, I wound up falling into a tangent of sounding like Elvis Presley. And when I started that, Elvis Presley Enterprises actually hired me to come in and give concerts during Elvis Week.
Get
so
out.
I started that from 2010 all the way to 2012. I went on the Elvis Presley cruise to the Bahamas. So I actually got to perform on the same ship with my buddy Ronnie McDowell. And we did shows on there. I think it was 2013 is when I stopped. So 2015. There you go. From 2010 to 2015, I did a lot of Elvis shows in Memphis during Elvis Week.
Amazing. So
I don't dress up like them, and I don't look like them.
Listen, you can't claim to do everything.
Right. Well, that's the reason why they hired me, because I'm a country singer singing Elvis Presley songs that I sometimes sound like him, but I don't dress like him, I don't dance like him, and I don't look like him. They love that. That's the reason why they hired me.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you ever try to summon Elvis in Elvis's voice?
Try to do what now?
Summons Elvis. Say
Summon
Elvis.
Elvis?
Yeah. Summons.
No.
I
I have a theory about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not crazy about all that stuff too, but go ahead.
I don't think he's dead.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. I don't. Well, see, here's the thing. Priscilla has dropped a lot of hints, or she actually she has a lot of things slip. One time she was in a interview, and the lady asked her, she goes, if Elvis was alive today, what would he be doing? She goes, he'd probably be preaching the gospel somewhere. And I basically found him. He is a preacher in Arkansas, in a church.
Really?
I thought you were going to say in a little chapel in Vegas.
No. He's a preacher in Arkansas. And the thing is, when you watch his sermons, like one of them he did was going from riches to rags, rags to riches.
Mm-hmm.
And if you even say he is Elvis Presley, he kind of goes, I will never be, nor will I ever be that person that you're speaking of. Now, the story goes, I mean, it's basically almost out in the open anyway, but whatever. We were shooting a documentary called Following in the Footsteps of the King in Memphis. We wound up talking to a few of Elvis's henchmen. Now, the story was there was a guy named Charlie, one of Elvis's biggest fans. He would always walk the wall and stand at the gate. And whenever Elvis would come in, he would just be goo-goo-eyed, man. He would just he loved Elvis Presley. Well, one day, Elvis came out to the gate, talked to him. And the guy told him that he had stage 4 cancer. So Elvis said, if you had one last wish, what would you like it to be? Charlie goes, I want to live your life. I want to be you. Elvis said, okay. He moved him into Graceland, gave him plastic surgery to look like him. And when it came time to when he died in the bathroom, well, that was Charlie. See, Elvis had a massive drug addiction thanks to Parker. He was taking uppers and downers and, everything known to man just to stay awake, to keep going, to be full of energy. And, of course, he was drinking a lot. So the time when he supposedly died, there was a Black Hawk helicopter that landed in the backyard that picked Elvis up and took him to rehab. So when Charlie died that day, the persona of Elvis Presley died also. When he left, when he was in rehab, he found the Lord because he was working with a preacher in rehab. So he became a minister. So when he left, he's now a pastor.
It's an interesting concept.
I mean,
He's
if
been
anybody
caught.
could do it,
He's been caught at Graceland.
has he?
When Lisa Marie's son, or actually his, her son, committed suicide.
Grandson, yeah.
Yeah, her grandson. The pastor was there.
Was
Huh.
he?
He was caught on camera coming out of Graceland to get into a black SUV.
I mean, didn't he work with the FBI too, with Nixon years and stuff? So
He did.
so he had some kind of connection there too.
Yeah. And the mafiosos were after him too, for some weird reason. Probably due to Parker selling his contract to him.
Yeah, he didn't help him much. Yeah,
No, he didn't.
he got him started, but that's about it. He just took advantage
Yeah.
of the man. You know.
But
So
yeah,
that-
whenever I go to Graceland, I don't feel anything there. The only thing I kind of get a feeling about, and Paula does too, is I think it's the housekeeper. She's there.
Were they
housekeeping.
close?
Huh?
Were they close?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think his daughter actually just died, or maybe she went to live with him? Do you think?
That I
She
don't know. There's some
passed.
crazy stories about that whole thing. I'm not really too sure about that one. I mean, there's just too many red flags in that story. There's too many loopholes
Mhm.
to what happened to her.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now you got me thinking too. If anybody could do it, could be Elvis. And there's a lot of sightings him through the years. You know.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's-
Colonel Parker screwed him so bad. I mean, it got him taking drugs, got him doing this, got him doing that. He was like a puppet. So he had to do something to get out of this whole thing, and he just couldn't figure out what he was going to do. And Charlie was a godsend.
Mm. Yeah.
It was
That's it.
perfect.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
I mean, that could be. That's wild. Just to think about something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis was.
I'm just putting up all of your social media.
I don't think he was in any occult.
Mm.
I don't think he was either.
No.
He was super religious.
He was,
for the most part.
yes, very religious.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, well, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea with Elvis. You know, I mean, that'd be wild to actually, maybe not for Elvis, but just to investigate Graceland.
Yeah,
Just I mean, and see what you can get there.
we've tried. We actually tried because we actually had a few ins, and we really couldn't do it. They wouldn't let us.
That'd be interesting to get into that place. You know.
Mhm.
So I mean, have you done any location that had any famous people that you might have come across, or contacted or came through?
I
We
wouldn't
just
say
had
anybody
one.
famous now.
We just had one with Lincoln came through, and that was interesting.
Really?
They had
It was amazing.
the flag that actually when Lincoln was shot,
Mhm.
when he was actually assassinated.
It was
They
the
actually had this big flag and they put it under his head as they would carry him to, and his blood's all over this flag.
Oh wow. Okay.
it was
And
it
it's
was like
still
the
there.
flag that hung over the box from the theater. The girl
Yeah.
pulled that off so that she could put it under his head
Yeah,
while we were
Gotcha.
waiting to transport him.
and it's in the column. There was the column museum
The columns.
in Milford, in Pennsylvania, and we were getting stuff on one of the boxes that Tim was using, and one of the guys asked, "Can you finish his saying?" And because so somebody asked 4 scores and 7. Finish this 4 scores, and the box said 7 years ago.
Oh wow!
It was
And
really cool.
there was another one. I asked. I said, "Mr. President, can you tell me your wife's name?" And the name came out, Mary Todd, just like that quick. So I mean that was pretty cool. That we thought that was the coolest thing that the president came through.
Yeah.
So
It was a really cool place.
Have you ever noticed why is it that we're always able to communicate with people from the 1800s and nobody present? You ever figure out why that is?
I've come up with some people that were from the present, but it's rare.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Rare. I mean, I have people that come through that were in car accidents and stuff like that. But I mean, I think in a place like that museum has all these old artifacts in it. I think just the energy on some of these artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
There was a violin there. Woman played the violin, so that's her essence on that thing. That's something she loved in her whole life. Her sweat and blood, sweats on that. I think that's got to do with stuff like that. But I mean, I still present. I have come across. I have gone in private homes, and we were doing a spirit box session, and we're saying there was an old woman. She was like in her 80s. She was like 86 years old, and her daughter was like 60 something years old, almost 70. And we're sitting there, and the first thing I put down the box, and I said, "Okay, can somebody come through?" And all of a sudden goes, "Walter," just like that. The woman's like, that's my husband. That's my husband. And the other one, that's my father. And they were like so amazed. And he was only deceased maybe about less than 10 years up to that point. Yeah. And he's the one that actually built that house, the foundation, everything. They actually built that house. So I thought that was cool that came through. I mean, a lot of cases we do get people from the 1800s. And even earlier,
Well, in Gettysburg, I want to say 2 years ago, we were filming an episode with Bobby Gallo and the Gallo family ghost hunters.
Yeah, Bobby.
And
people.
It was kind of crazy, but his wife got the picture, or we actually did a screen grab on it. I'm over here on this side. Bobby's over here. His daughter's over on this side. And we can see what looks like 2 women on the side of a tree. And you can see it plain as day. It was shot during the day when she was running her IR, which is really weird because it's black and white. But to take that a step further, you may laugh at this. I mean, I've showed a lot of people this picture, and they're totally blown away. But I think I saw a dinosaur in Spangler Springs on the grass.
Get out.
Really?
I actually have a picture of a dinosaur. And it took me like a few days to actually find the dinosaur, a real color picture. And sure enough, when you look at it, look at the dinosaur, you're like, holy shit, that's the dinosaur.
Wow. That's
Amazing.
interesting.
And then another thing, we got a picture of a plank. It looks like a door, a wooden door laying on the grass.
Really?
But when you look at when we were there, you couldn't see it. You couldn't see it through the camera either. But on the footage, on the picture, you could see there's a freaking door laying right there in Spangler Spring in the middle of the grass.
You want to hear something about that? They used to use the doors as girders. They threw the bodies on them. They would carry them on the door.
They did.
Because they didn't have enough equipment. They used it as a
doors
girdie.
on.
They put the body on and carried them.
Yeah.
Is that
I see you guys in the bash, or either that I'll send you the picture, or I'll show you the picture on when we meet up at the bash in July. But yeah,
it could
after I
also
saw the dinosaur, I started kidding around, going, you know what? I wonder if whenever we hear a growl, if it's a velociraptor.
It could be. We don't know.
It could be. I mean,
But
I've seen a dinosaur. I got a picture of it.
It could also have been that they dug out like a summer kitchen in the ground, and they had a door there, and then they filled it in later and took the door off. Because think of all the times that you see spirits walk through walls, and it's just that wall was never there before.
Right.
And they're rerouted. So it could have been like a summer kitchen in the ground, and they just like removed the door.
On the battlefield?
Possible.
Or it could have been like where they were hiding ammunition and weapons.
Where was it on the battlefield?
Spangler Springs.
Spangler Springs, yeah. Spangler Springs, there was no homes over there. Spangler Springs, the fame from Spangler Springs was there was actual springs. There was water there, and both sides were fighting for that one little location so they could get the water.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, on Spangler Springs, also there's carving in the rocks where some of the soldiers, as they were dying, they took their names and they put their names in the rocks, carve it in there as they're dying. Spangler Springs. I used to go to Gettysburg. I started going in 2008, and I used to go twice a year to about 2013 or 14, something like that. And then we used to go like once a year after that. I mean, I used to love that. I love that place. It's a candy store for the paranormal.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Oh, hold on here. I'll show you. We can hopefully see it on the camera. There's the plank or the door.
Yeah,
yeah, I can see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
But it's not really there.
Maybe it's like a makeshift bomb shelter or something, or maybe it's where they hid their ammunition.
Okay.
I don't think they had enough time to do all that.
That's the dinosaur.
Oh, cool.
But
I've seen those on the movies.
That's the dinosaur.
That's hard to see. I could see like part of a shape of something.
You can see the head and the back.
Yes.
See?
Holy shit! Yeah.
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
Well, that like reminds me of the joke that is all over memes. How come you always see something?
There's the two women back there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why do you always see women from the Victorian era, but you never see?
That's the whole shot right there.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and you can still see in the background. Yeah.
Yep.
But why do you never hear "It's Britney, bitch"?
I was gonna say that earlier, but I was just like, I'm not gonna say it. It's me, bitch.
Do you think, guys, does it have something to do with like back in those times, people were more religious and they maybe had a lot of guilt, so they didn't really necessarily cross over?
I'm thinking this is just spitballing and a wild idea, but I'm thinking they got something similar to like Supernatural You, where you have to graduate to be able to talk to people. So basically all the ones that are still that passed this year, last year, or many years ago, they're still in class. They're still working their way on up to graduate so they can finally talk or have powers, be able to touch stuff, move stuff. That's just a weird theory of mine.
So you feel like they weren't educated enough in paranormal things, so they're still stuck. Whereas we've really advanced so much. Could be.
Pretty much. Yep.
I mean,
I just wish that we could actually live in a world or a time where everything is like supernatural. We could be walking amongst angels. I mean, I don't care about the vampires and the leviathans and werewolves and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to actually be able to hang out with Castiel, you know, people like that, and then be friends with demons.
Who's to say we're not, though?
I don't know. We could be. I mean, it'd be interesting.
Look at all the garbage that's going on. Sometimes you meet a person who just does a random act of kindness for you. Who's to say that that's not an angel? It just disappears after when you turn to say thank you. They're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know what's actually happening.
Yep. I've been wanting to say all night. In back of you, I like that Slimer clock. Is that a clock that's spinning around?
Oh no, that's just it's a trap, and he spins on it.
Oh, okay. That's Slimer?
Yep. That's Slimer on a trap.
I've been watching him spin all night.
Look what that is. Oh, you can't see it. Crap. Hold on.
Oh, is that vodka in there?
Yep. Dan Aykroyd's.
We have one of those.
Wow. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge Ghostbuster fanatic. I have 4 shelves in the back studio loaded with Ghostbuster stuff.
No, I got a couple over here. You know, I got my flag and I got all the, the little toys and stuff like that. It's like everybody thinks because you're do the paranormal stuff that let's get him a Ghostbuster car, which I don't mind because I like it anyway. I mean, I like that, because everybody thinks, get him a little. I got matchboxes of the Ecto, Ecto one and all that stuff. So
everybody buys me witchy stuff.
Yep.
Oh, it's cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. Oh. Now I'm gonna have to get up. Now I gotta show you mine.
Oh.
I gotta get it. Well, do you see this right here?
No,
That's a Ghostbuster lamp.
that's cool.
Gotta compare our toys.
No toys, hey.
And I also have the whole.
What's the difference between a man and a boy? It's the price of their toys.
Right. I also have the cosplay outfit too. I've taken a picture with you wearing the full outfit, holding an Eddie.
That sounds like fun.
Oh yeah.
So, do you have anything coming up that I didn't list that you would like to talk about before we go?
Well, if anybody's going to be in the Evansville, Indiana area on March 2nd through the 3rd, we are going to be over at the Evansville Horror Con. We're the first paranormal, well, I wouldn't say first, we're the second paranormal team that's going to be there because Jason Haas and Shari Debenetti are going to be there.
And when is that?
That'll be March 2nd to the 3rd. And then, of course, we have our own Paracon halfway to Halloween. It's going to be May 25th through the 26th here in Paducah, Kentucky. And let's see. Chaos Con in Michigan, June 21st through the 22nd. Then we're going to be at Nashville Horror Con, Nashville, Tennessee, July 20th through the 21st. Then we'll be hanging out with you guys in Gettysburg, July 25th to the 28th. And we actually made it with the big guys. We're going to be at MI Paracon, August 21st to the 25th. Let me see.
I can't keep up.
Dragon Con. We actually made it to Dragon Con this year.
That's cool.
Dragon Con in Atlanta. Yeah, that is a big one. That's basically like you have Comic-Con in San Diego, you have Comic-Con in New York, and then you have Dragon Con. It's the third biggest convention.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be August 29th through September 2nd. Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky, October 18th through the 20th. And then we're going to end the year at Mid-Michigan, October 25th through the 27th.
Yeah, you're busy this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I graduate in November.
Good for you.
That's nice. And you got your BA?
That'll be my BA, yep.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Gettysburg is going to be fun. Like I said, everybody goes to Gettysburg. They want to go invest. I want to go outside. And I don't drink and drive. I go to Gettysburg. I go and I could drink. And the only thing I got to worry about is the elevator. Driving the elevator. I don't have to get behind the wheel of a car.
Elevator? What?
Yeah. The elevator. Go because I stay in the hotel there.
Ah.
So I drink, I get in the elevator. I don't have to drive. I don't drive. I don't drink and drive. So I just jump in the elevator. That's the only thing I got to drive that night. The elevator to my room. Yeah.
Just don't miss your floor.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Between that and the cigars, I have a good time, and it's good people.
Well, they got one hell of a lineup. They got one hell of a lineup this year. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have Brad and Barry Kling there. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I haven't met them yet. I'd like to meet those two.
We actually filmed with Brad Kling on the USS Lexington in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh wow!
That was like, gosh, I want to say 8-9 years ago or so.
They've got a nice little lineup. I like that.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I used to like it with the truck. With the Ghost Lab truck and everything, that was pretty cool.
Oh God, yeah,
that was the coolest thing.
I want
one of those. I want one of those, like the big trailer behind that thing with what do you call it? A huge TV set and gear all over the place, and you're like, this is awesome.
That's the reason why we started using a trailer. I actually had base camp inside the trailer. When we did a convention probably about 7 years ago at SilCon in Mattoon, Illinois, I actually brought the trailer into the location, and people could actually walk into base camp and see how everything was all set up. They got to see how the DVR cameras worked and all the monitors and everything. Oh yeah, that was like a huge attraction.
Yeah, that was always my dream. Like, get like one of those big. A trail or whatever, and just drive cross country, check out every location, all 48 states.
Yep.
You know? Because I would try to 50, but I don't think you could drive to Hawaii. And
you can try.
And I'm not an ice truck driver going to Alaska, so.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to try to figure out when we can do it. Probably after I graduate, but we want to do a show called Getting Your Kicks on Route 66.
Oh, that's cool.
Where we take off on an RV and we take the route of Route 66 and go to all the haunted locations along the road.
That sounds fun.
Oh, I'd love to be on a motorcycle doing that. Whole 66.
Yeah.
Oh man, nice chopper, lean back. Wow.
Oh, God.
Awesome. Go to that's always was. I always wanted, if it was going to do a show and stuff, I always wanted to have drive up to every location on a bike. Drive up and just get off, and I'm going to start my location and investigate and meet my team there. You know, but that never went.
Better put all your gear in the saddlebags.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you kidding me? I have the saddlebags. I have everything on there, and just pull up. That'd be awesome. Pull up on a location on a bike.
Mm-hmm.
That was always one of my dreams to do. But nah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But
it could. You don't know. Anything's possible.
I mean, 10, 20 years ago, it would have been cool.
Yeah. Anything's possible. I mean, I'm going to be 52 this year. I don't look it. Do I look 52?
No.
No,
I'll
you
be
don't.
in July.
52. I remember those days.
Yeah.
You just
I had
little
someone tell
boy.
me I looked like I was 44. I'm like, hey, I'll take it.
I'm 61.
You don't look it.
And no, I might not look it, but my body feels like
Oh, you feel
91.
it. You feel it. Yeah.
I was in
I
construction
feel it
too
too.
many years. Working construction too many years. Yeah. And it catches up to you. Knees, back. You guys see me when I got out of this chair tonight? I'm gonna look at Quasimodo walking into the next room.
Oh
Same.
Lord. Yeah, my thing is carrying all the equipment, unloading, loading, setting up. Oh man, that's a lot of stuff to carry.
It
I get my
is.
exercise.
Yeah, but I mean, now, like I said, I bring less equipment too because I work with a lot of different groups. So
Yeah.
everybody brings equipment. So I'm like, why am I bringing this when they're going to have 5 of those? Somebody else can have them there, or this. And
Right.
so I've been bringing a lot of less equipment. But you got a production company, so you got
Yeah.
a lot of gear.
Well, the thing is, people tell me less is best. Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Not in my case, because you get to a location and you start looking around going, okay, I want this shot. Damn, that would have worked good if I had my jib, or I have my slider. I don't have to worry about it. I just go in the trailer, get it. I have everything I need.
Yeah, I tried starting a production company, but very hard to keep people focused anymore. Everybody wants to. Well, everybody thinks that if they get with the company and stuff, they're going to start doing shows on TV and stuff. And a lot of the editors I dealt with I don't know, they went off their own way or they lost interest and they went somewhere else. And I just,
Yeah.
I mean, so I just do what I do and I get together with my a group. It's like the whole thing. We're just a bunch of different teams that just get together and investigate. And you know something? It's so nice that way because there's no ego, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
But
see, a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people are losing.
Audience. She's my partner everywhere we go.
Yeah, a lot of people are losing sight of investigating due to all the crap that's going on now. People are just like, you know what? I don't want to have any part of this. It's nothing like it was years ago when it was fun. It was exciting. Now it's just any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do it. And if they don't get what they want, they're just going to fake it. So a lot of, I've seen seasoned investigators saying, you know what? I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm out.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Those seasoned people we learn from.
Yeah. I see that all the time. And especially now. But the whole thing is, like I said, I just got my group of people. I guess a bunch of different teams. We all do our own thing, but we all work together. And that's where I like it now,
Yeah. Keep your circle small.
Yeah, I mean, and if we need somebody, hey, listen, we need more people on this. And, you work with people. And everybody works together. We all work together fine. It's a good group. I like the group we have now. So, that's the way to do it. Because, I've been around doing this a long time. My team started in '96.
Oh, wow.
And I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, starting off with dowsing rods and, running around cemeteries and stuff. But I didn't know what I was doing until later on. But yeah, my team started in '96. And back then it was like everybody in the audience, it was me, myself, and I. All 3 of us. Because you couldn't talk and do nothing back then. So I've been in this a long time. So I come across a lot of people, and a lot of people are into it. And then you got the people that have the ego, and then you got the people that you start showing them what, it's like, this is how you do this. And then next thing they're trying to teach you and telling you what to do, which I don't mind. If you're coming up with great ideas, I'm still learning to this day. I don't care what anybody says. I've been doing this a long time. We're all still learning. It's not.
We're students.
We're students. Because nothing we do right now is, I believe in something, you believe in something. maybe somewhere down the line, we both come in agreement and say, hey, you're right, I'm wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. It's like always learning something. And I sometimes learn from the newest people, just because they come in with newer ideas.
Yeah, but usually that won't happen due to pride.
Well, I have come across people that haven't been in that long, and they say, how about this? And I suggest something. I'm like, let's check it out. And
that's the way it should be.
Something that's cool. Yeah, it works. It works good. Let's try that. You know what I mean? I was being an electrician in the city. I ran jobs. One of my biggest jobs was Rolex. We were putting up buildings for Rolex over here, and that was like a $4.5 million, $5 million job. So I had guys running with me, and with the experience, and then you have these new kids coming in, even apprentice, and I was like, how about can we? And I used to say, do you have any idea? Maybe how about this way? And I'll go back and figure out, I'm like, yeah, we could run the pipe that way. Let's give that a shot. You just saved not just money on the job because you got to use less pipe, and you saved everything, pipe, any people working and stuff like that, and paychecks. But you're always learning. You're always learning. And anybody says they're professional in this business, they don't know what they're talking about, because none of us, as much as we might, there's people, like you said, seasoned, and but professional, I don't know about that.
I think they can act professional.
They can act. I mean, you can.
No one's an expert.
I mean, because it's always something new.
Well, there's no expert, no professional. Because how can you be a professional in something that doesn't exist?
You know what I mean? So I feel that we all learning, and you're always learning something new. So that's
until somebody finally uncovers the question that we've all been asking.
Mm-hmm.
Is there life after death, and how can we prove it?
And how we can prove it? When we're there.
Yeah.
We all got to die for that answer, it seems like. And I don't think we want to find it that fast.
I got a lot of people I'm going to haunt, that's for damn sure.
Oh, I got a list. You get me? I got a list longer than my arm.
I'm coming pick people up and throw them.
They're going to call you a demon then.
Probably.
Save all your energy now.
Be like, it's Brittany, bitch.
It's Brittany, bitch.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. All right, so it's 9:44 right now.
We went over, huh?
A little bit. We sometimes do that. So
we
Bobby,
got good guests.
Yeah, we always have great guests. This was
no different. Put the ending in again. All right.
The what?
The ending.
Okay. So, thank you, Gavin. You were a pleasure to have with us, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you. Enjoyed that. Really did.
I enjoyed it too.
You're amazing. You're very talented. You have a lot going on, it just shows how talented you are. This was another episode of Dimensions of the Supernatural, 7:30 to 9:30 East Coast time on Thursday nights. I'm Maureen Grudzinski, otherwise known as Lil Witchy, and my co-host, Anthony Simonelli, otherwise known as Mr. Fuhgeddaboudit. Anthony, take it.
I just want to tell you, be safe out there. You want to look for ghosts. Don't want to be a ghost. And remember this, forget about it. Ciao. Good night.
Hey, how you doing?